So, today in spirituality, I am going to be talking about how divine is around you. And while we may go looking for divine at many places, if you looked with a good mind, you may just find divine very close to you. So, today I'm going to talk about one of my bosses who I worked with, and he's at a very senior position, so I don't take his name. And I have few regrets about few things, but this vlog I'm going to only talk about how I got shown and told how big he is, and I have accepted that if I were to look for divine, he is very much it. So, I hold a lot of spiritual titles, very big spiritual might, but I also have a very good mind where I actually acknowledge that this boss of mine is actually even more at a higher spiritual tier than me. So, before I start talking, I will just tell you certain few things about spirituality and dreams and how it functions. See, a lot of people get dreams. Sometimes those dreams are good, sometimes they are bad, sometimes they invoke a very big emotion. And they just so many dreams. And I think there is someone there is someone very big who's done work on it, Sigmund Freud, and he connected those dreams to something. So, this is stage one of dreams, where you pretty much get any dream, and you know, so you mostly are seeking a therapy when dreams are too wide, varied, and inexplainable, or are hurting you or are damaging you in a lot of ways. And maybe then Sigmund Freud, with whatever philosophy, then he tries to figure people out and their dreams. There is a stage two. So, I have written an article on dreams also. Maybe if I can find a link, I can put it. Otherwise, you will need to go to my Patreon page and read that article. There is a stage two to the dreams, and the stage two is to not get any dreams, where you have worked on your mind to such a detail that you don't let any out of the way thoughts come and hit your head. You don't have unnecessarily conversations, thoughts build up in your head about anything. You start controlling the nonsense in your head. You stop thinking, worrying about too much of anything, and you deal with things as they come. As you control the nonsense in your head with great practice and meditation, you go through a second phase where you realize you never get dreams. You never ever get dreams. Not a single dream ever. It's a complete blank zone. You wake up from your sleep, no dreams. You take a quick nap or something, never a dream. And this goes on for years. Your mind and your body and your heart are all in sync and at peace. And mostly, this is the phase you achieve as bliss. And then comes the third phase where you become a spiritual somebody and you start getting visions and dreams that give you answers. They suggest a way forward to you. It's a very difficult stage to get into, but this is the stage 3, and not many people will get here. So, but they will. It's not like it's impossible. If you work on your mind and your thoughts and keep your mind good, you may actually get there very quick. Why not? So, I am in this stage for a very long time, and I was in a stage where my heart, mind, everything was blank, and I would never get dream ever. I stayed in that phase for a very long time. And then I progressed and moved to this third stage where you get sent answers, you meet divine, and you meet people who are divine through dreams. So I'm talking about my boss who I worked with, and one learning that I made from him, and it made a certain verse, it built a understanding about a certain verse to me because of something very simple that he said. So, I used to be working under him, and we used to conduct these programs where, after the completion of the programs, the participants would take a test, and then they would get a certificate from our side saying that now you're certified, congratulations, and you can now, uh, you're inducted and you can start your journey or way forward. So I remember I filled the certificate as, dear XYZ participant, you have scored 61.3 or 81.3%, and you are now completed the program. So one certificate, second certificate. And as I was making these certificates, I found writing the percentages very difficult because I had to maintain these percentages and mention it in the certificate: 81.3, 82.4, 85%, 87.8. It was just cumbersome. But I said I have to do it since we are giving the certificate. I remember after I made the certificate like this, I took it to my boss and I showed it to him. He had a good look at the certificate and he said, "Do you have to mention the percentages?" I said, "Sir, if they've cleared the exam with a certain percentage, they would like to know." He said, "No, you can just write that you have successfully cleared the exam and you are now certified." He said, "You don't have to write percentages." And one, it cut down my work, let's say by 70% just of that certificate work, because now I don't have to cumbersomely keep maintaining percentages. Because once you give the pass percentage to and people start clearing it, they know their percentages. You're just mentioning that you have cleared the exam or successfully you have passed it, and that's it. And people who didn't clear the exam never got the certificate. So, one, this simple move made my work very easy, and it paired everyone at an equal status, which means someone who got 83% is equal to someone who also got 94%. Because we are just saying that you have cleared the exam, and you know on successful completion of the program and exam, this is your certificate. There is a concept called first among the equals. So when I talk about this topic of crossing over, or when you just move to the next level or you clear that certain level, there is no first among equals. Everybody is a first within the equals. That's a very simple understanding, which means you stop grading people. Once you cross over or you clear a certain qualification, everybody is equal. See, why it is important to know that sometimes it's okay to not chase merit to its last T. It's because, one, even despite being successful, it may bring in disappointment in people or undue comparison between people. So even after they clear the exam, if you keep mentioning percentages, it creates a lot of comparison and disappointment in people because they still keep comparing their percentages. So emotionally, we had settled people by just saying you have cleared the exam. Now I will talk about one verse to you. And that verse says, जैसे तड़ ऊपर आकाश, like the sky above. I never really understood what does that even mean, like the sky above. When I used to pray and I used to wonder what does this verse mean, like the sky above. And much reflection, I found the meaning. And the meaning was, you cross over, you become one with greatness. That is the meaning of crossing over or the sky above. You can't say this set of clouds are here, this set of clouds are here. The sky is one and it is huge. And once you join that sky, your greatness. So, this a lot of people want to also know what is the meaning of crossover, or clearing or moving to a different level. It just means you have now become one with a certain group. And in spirituality, that crossover means to become one with greatness. I've said this before, that if you were to see anyone in your dream with a smile on, with your eyes closed, you can just put a stamp and say this person is divine. And it's futile to look for divine, going miles and miles away, searching for God and divine, when you can't see the person next to you or understand the person next to you. And I saw divine in this boss, and I will tell you some dreams that I had about him and how you can learn big lessons of spirituality from good people around you. So one of the dreams I had was, you know, I saw me being carried on the shoulder, on two people carrying me on their shoulder. I almost felt like I was in the energy of a hierophant and I was being carried. So this was a dream. And I remember in that dream, this boss gets out of the lift and he sees me being carried by two people and he just does this. What is she up to now? And when I saw that expression on his face, my own instinct in the dream was, oh my god, I'm getting caught. So see, despite being how big I am spiritually, I actually felt that am I getting caught or something. So this was one dream, and he had smiled in the dream. The other dream I had was, I remember I'm sitting in some session, and from behind I heard his voice, and he said, Mandeep, can you come, get up and sit this side? And he motioned at another seat. And I get up and I say, Sir, I will do as I'm told. That was the other dream. See, there were a couple of other dreams as well. One, when I'm getting hit by so many dreams about one boss, I've had dreams about my other bosses as well. I will talk about them gradually. So, the tarot card that I saw him was in the King of Cups. And first time I understood the energy of King of Cups in a very different way because of him. If you look at King of Cups, see, I know this is a spirituality topic. A lot of you may not want to know about tarot here, but since I wanted to just the reason why I'm talking about is I'm saying that while we go looking for spiritual gurus and guides and we seek divinity in a lot of ways, people go through a lot of effort and meditation. Sometimes divine is very close by, and I saw that energy with my boss. So I wanted to, that's why I'm talking about him and I'm talking about tarot cards. So when you look at the energy of King of Cups, I'm also looking for King of Cups to show you. King of Cups is a king in tarot card imagery. He's sitting on a solid platform, but on the ocean, you know and his one feet wearing socks is almost touching the water. Since he's sitting on a throne and the solid platform but in the ocean, the guidance really is that his position, the King of Cups position, while is on a very solid platform, it can not handle a great upheaval. So, if the ocean storms were to work up, this king can fall. So, he rides the emotional, he rides or he rules by keeping people at peace emotionally, or, you know, uh, not letting any emotion get worked up too heavily. He's one king where you will not get protests. So, cups are nothing but emotions. That's how you understand tarot. So, King of Cups is someone where you will never get protests or demonstrations. But they will be very, very contained. The king would have done everything. The other is the King of Cups. I can't find the card, so I'm just going to be talking about it. Other is the King of Cups. If you see that stone platform is moving on the ocean, he will just ride the greatest of seas and rough weather without caring for his safety. If you see, he's not on a boat. He's just, taking his chances of traveling the sea just on that stone platform. So he's trying to reach you without caring for his safety. So, he's the nicest king and he will look after his people. So, this was my ode to my boss, and I'm very thankful that I met him and I worked with him.